Hey everyone, I wanted to kind of do a quick video on Topps Chrome basketball single pricing, just because it seems to me that it might be a bit ahead of itself, and just if you're in the market on a long-term basis, you might want to be careful. So we'll kind of dive into some numbers. So starting with the checklist, this is just part of the 2025 Topps Chrome basketball checklist. As you'll see, quite the variety of refractors. This page just goes to everything serial numbered, not serial numbered, and then to 99. Um, there's a lot. So we'll just say, okay, let's just pretend those don't really have an impact. Let's just look at things below, 100 or 99. And so you get this list right here. There's multiple different types of golds, orange, reds. Um, again, quite a few. Now we can pull out and say, okay, what if we pull out the number to 75 and just look at anything, serial numbered 50 or less. And when you pull those out, as you'll see here, it's roughly 568 serial numbered cards, serial numbered to 50 or less, and that's a lot. You can say, okay, maybe only some of those cards actually matter. Um, I think that maybe is slightly debatable, but um, that's a lot. And even if you just want to look at the true golds, like if you compare it to what I would say the most iconic Topps Chrome set, which is 2008 Topps Chrome basketball, um, that had a total print run basically of, you had the 1 of 1 superfractor, golds to 50, X fractors to 288, and orange to 499. And then, the general refractors, those golds are significantly more scarce, right? They are essentially the 51st most scarce cards, right? Because you have the superfractor and then 50 golds. Here, your golds are competing with, basketball gold, gold ray waves, and I think people in general just need to be careful. If you're a collector and you don't care about value in any sense or resale, buy what you want when you want it, add it to your collection. You have your budget for that purpose. But from a more long-term perspective, if you're looking at this as an investment or trying to time a purchase, I would just recommend being cautious. And we'll kind of dig into on a player basis some numbers on why I feel that way. So first, to not even in this video, I won't even look at the rookies. I'm just looking at kind of the vet cards that are out there. And I pulled just some recent sales at Market Movers. Jalen Brunson, his basketball gold and his Ray Wave gold, 40, $50. And then you see, an Anthony Edwards, true gold, about $2,000 in a 9, and a Giannis, under 1,000 in a 9 for his true gold. Now those seem maybe reasonable, maybe, but when you look at historical pricing, it's going to look pretty far out there, right? And so I'm just decided to pull a LeBron recent PSA 10 gold sale and his X Fractor from 2008. The chalk toss, in my opinion, iconic imagery. 2025 Topps Chrome, to me, is somewhat uninspired by comparison. And again, X Fractor to 288 compared to gold to 50, which is actually out of 568. And even if you say, okay, we'll throw out the gold Ray Wave, throw out the basketball golds, those don't count. So it's roughly the 288, then you have the true gold and the 1 of 1. So we'll say like 338. And if you pull out all the extra golds in 2025, those are probably roughly comparable. One card is, again, about 20 years older, better imagery, and it's selling for half the price. So, if you're, again, in this for the long term, I would just be cautious that you're really banking on 2025 Topps Chrome being important solely because it's the first license again in many years, which, compared to something like first year Prism, that was the first year Prism was ever out there. Topps Chrome basketball has been around before, so you're really seems like a banking on people caring in the long term that it's the return of the license, which maybe matters more than imagery, maybe matters more than the age of the card, maybe matters more than scarcity, but I think it's rather risky. And as we look at some other prices, again, it's kind of similar. And just to bring it back to 2008 Topps Chrome, you can see here just some of the recent PSA 9s, gold refractors out of 50. Again, these gold refractors out of 50 only have the one of one superfractors as a higher level of scarcity than them. So if an Anthony Edwards to 50, uh, which is really like 568 or maybe 350, depending on if you throw out the other golds, these are somewhere between 5 and 10 times as scarce a card, and they're selling for less than that Anthony Edwards PSA 9. So it's determined unknown how Edwards' career is going to end, but just kind of keep that in mind. And I put the X Factor Carmelo up there. If you look at Jalen Brunson as a comparable Knicks player so far in terms of accomplishment, again a PSA 9 Carmelo at a 288 is going for $160. Raw X Fractors of like an Iverson or McGrady are around $100. So if gold Ray Wave Brunson is about 40-50 bucks, just kind of keep that in mind again, where it's significantly less scarce in terms of a total serial numbered card pursuit. Now again, maybe people don't care long term on those lower serial numbered cards and truly will just be gold refractors, and the hobby just kind of disregards them. But in terms of like where the money's going to be funneled, collectors, investors, they will continue to go after the entire set, right? And things serial number 50 and lower will probably rise to the top. And it just, again, looking back at this, looking at the LeBron sales, just be mindful of that. If you're a collector who just wants the card to add to your PC and you're going to hold it for the next 50 years, it doesn't really matter, right? Just get it and enjoy it. It's in your hobby budget. Just be mindful of it. It's an opportunity cost of what you choose to buy. And if you're investing for the long term, maybe 2008 Topps Chrome needs to catch up, or maybe 2025 is going to slow down and kind of retrace. The rookie cards as well seem wild, but just looking at the veteran cards, like really kind of stop and think of the actual scarcity of what's in that serial number and what's in the checklist. So thanks for checking out the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.